Welcome back to Y&R For Life, where we talk about all things Y&R related. We talk about what's going on, you know, my predictions, what I think's going to happen. We get down to the nitty gritty sometimes, and we even talk about fashion on this show because I'm a big time fashion girl. So we got to spill the tea about that from time to time. If you are new here, my question is, what took you so long to get here? And if you are returning, what's up? Long time no see. And it's been just that. It's been a long time. At least that's the way that it feels for me. And it's because life happens. And I'm always going to be real. Nothing's going to be fake. Things happen that are completely out of our control. And what you don't want to happen, boom, that's when it happens. And that's exactly what occurred, why I couldn't do a video last week. But hopefully everybody's caught up. If you are new to this channel, I'm going to say welcome, and it would be so kind if you could hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps me out. And share. Sharing is caring. Anyway, and don't forget, hit that bell notification so that you don't miss a single video I post here on Y&R For Life. It has been a whirlwind of a week. I'm telling you, I'm wearing the purple blanket partially because for those who don't know, when I'm wearing the purple blanket and I've got it on, it's been a bit sleepy. This whole week has been up and down and around like a roller coaster. I don't get it. But we're going to try and get through this. We're going to talk about the different characters, what's been happening, that kind of thing. And, we'll just kind of see where we're at. So hopefully, once again, everybody is caught up. But if you're not, I don't really think you've missed that much. Okay, so let's kind of get certain things, off. So we know that Tucker and Ashley, they are married. Weird, because they just looked awkward. And since they've been married, Ashley is like all up in her feelings, like wah wah wah. Why did you marry Tucker if you're going to sit back and feel ways about this guy? You really show like you don't trust him. Now, can Tucker be trusted? I don't know. Kind of one of those things where I'm going to say 50-50. He's not like a slimy Nate where this guy is like trying to cover his tracks. So Tucker, he is like dead set he loves Ashley. Ashley claims she's dead set that she loves Tucker. But it really doesn't show that much. Although her one particular moment where she questioned Tucker, I don't even know if she quite questioned him. She just flat out was like accusatory. Like, saw you. What were you doing in Audra's room? And I made a mistake. Very dramatic. Ashley, get it together. Like, you're all over the map. So we saw Tucker and Ashley throughout this week, and Tucker, poor thing, this guy is, yes, he's trying to still cover his tracks with that whole email concerning the talent that he had that was working at McCall, and he was messing around with the underage person. He's still trying to cover his tracks, but that's kind of been a bit squashed right now. But yeah, Ashley, she is still she's like so hell-bent on Diane. Ashley, you need to, I don't know, go back to Paris, take Tucker with you. Like, although Tucker, maybe he can stay because he's the comic relief in my book. But just go back to Paris or something. Take simply Ashley or whatever and just go. Because enough already. Now, let's segue into Diane and Jack. Diane has asked Jack to sign a, albeit post-nuptial agreement. And Jack was like, I'm not hearing of this. Like, are you kidding me? I love you. I love you. And you don't have to prove anything to me. She's like, look, I want the record shown that I don't want anything from you, that, so Ashley can see that I'm in this for the right reasons. And yeah, should anything happen in our relationship and it goes south, what? It won't. Newsflash, Jack. They usually do. I'm really surprised that Nikki and Victor are still together, but so far, so good. So, anyway, Jack decides that he's going to sign this thing to basically kind of stick it to Ashley. And so he, like, after he signs it, he like, I don't know, text messages her or whatever, like a snapshot of this thing, just to kind of lay it to rest. Ashley receives this and shows Tucker and was like, well, what do you make of this? And he's like, basically, if I were you, Ashley, like, just leave it alone. Like, let it be. And she's like, yeah, I don't know about that. Well, anyway, at some point in time, Tucker and Ashley end up at the Abbott estate and see, Jack and Diane, and yeah, they're like, basically, take care, adios muchacho. And Ashley's like, yeah, well, once again, Tucker, what do you make of this? He's like, look, I really think you need to let this go. Like, I really truly believe that Diane actually loves Jack and that she's not trying to scam him at all. Once again, Ashley's like, yeah, I don't know about that. Okay, Ashley, like, what is going on? Is there rocks going on in your brain there, Ashley? Like, are you like, you just, again, like Victoria, can't see the forest through the trees. You are so blinded by the past that you can't seem to see that, quite frankly, Diane really seems like she's on the up and up. But again, we shall see. So let's see who we're going to talk about. Okay, let's do a little bit of the, albeit I call them scene fillers. Not to, downgrade what's going on with little Connor, but Connor went through this whole thing where he was like, I don't want to be here. I want to get out of town. Like, I don't want to live here anymore. I hate it here, blah, blah, blah. Chelsea's like, oh my gosh, Connor, like, where's this coming from? Well, Connor basically phones Anita, his grandmother, and was like, I want to stay with you, blah, blah, blah. And at some point in time, he's like, I want to go back. Like, they were at Crimson Lights. It was Chelsea, Billy, and they were at Crimson Lights with little Connor. And Connor toddles off. He wants to go back to his place because it's just up the stairs. And she's like, okay, go ahead, like, go ahead, whatever. So eventually, Connor, he packs a bag. I mean, it might as well have been like a red kerchief, a red and white kerchief with a stick, and he packs a bag, and this kid goes roaming, and he's off. Well, Chelsea figures this out because she's like, oh my gosh, Connor's not there. Where could he be? Connor has now run away, but he doesn't run away far because he goes toddling through the park. And who's at the park? Once again, who always seems to find Connor in these crazy stunts that he pulls? Sally Spectra. So Sally's in the park, and boom, There's Connor, and she's like, oh, Connor. Well, basically, fancy meeting you here. Like, what are you doing here? Well, yeah, I'm on my way to a friend's house or whatever he said. And she's like, oh, interesting. Well, her little motherly instincts kick in, and she basically is like, yeah, this this can't be true. So she basically says, "Oh, Connor, there's like a water truck over there. Can you, you know, here's some money. Can you go get me something and get something for yourself? Yeah, cause I really need something to drink." And he's like, okay. So off goes Connor. Sally picks up her phone. Doot 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 doot. Adam, yeah. Did you allow Connor to like basically roam free? Like he's in the park here. He's like got a bag. Yeah. What? No. Meanwhile, let's go back. Um, they have like a whole alert to try and find Connor, and there's Chance, who is so useless. Oh, yeah. Well, we have like a whole team on this, and yeah, I haven't been able to find anything yet. Okay, Chance, you don't find things. Things just other people find them and they bring them to you. Like this is what ends up happening. So you don't find anything. I hate to break it to you. Oh, I'll give you a little tidbit about Chance in a half a second here. So anyway, um she basically Sally that is, after Connor comes back, she's like, "Look, I I called your dad and yeah, so can I escort you back to your father?" Adam, Chelsea, Billy, they're at the coffee house. And so Sally takes little Connor over there, and yeah, not much to say. Eventually, Chelsea and Connor have gone and disappeared, and yeah, that's pretty much where that ended. Um, there was a couple little scenes here and there with Billy and Adam and concerning Connor, but nothing to really write home about. Okay, my little tidbit about Chance. He, oh my, I can't even believe what? So Chance is now, he has been, um, what's the word I want to use? Recommended from Paul Williams that we don't see anymore, who is, I think he's still in Portugal. I don't know. He has been recommended for the chief of police position. What a disaster. Once again, Chance, you don't find anything. People find things and then bring them to you. What have you found? Like, nothing. And he's all happy. He invites Sharon to the park to tell her this good news. And Sharon's like, oh, that's great. Whee! I'm sure in her mind she was like, you're not really suited for this position, but okay, whatever. That really didn't go too much of anywhere, whatever. Another scene filler we saw, I think it was at the beginning of the week, Heather and Daniel and Lily. So Heather basically says to Daniel that she is pretty much going to stay in Genoa City for a little bit of time. Well, they were at the club and sitting at a table, and Daniel, of course, he ends up going, oh, that's great. And he touches her hand. I dare say he might have, like, did one of these. And who should happen to just pop in and see this? As usual, Lily. So Lily has now this concerned look on her face. So Lily basically was like, after the little break, she was like, yeah, oh, fancy meeting you here, Heather. Yeah, so you're not going back to whatever? Oh, well, no, I'm, things are wrapping up and I'm planning to, stay here and for a little bit of time. Lily's like, oh, you don't say. Really? Anyway, yeah, Daniel, um, could I talk to Heather? Okay. So they have this conversation that, you could slice with a knife. And, Lily was just, she was just taking little digs at Heather, just trying to fish for information. And she was just trying to stake her claim, like, Daniel is very happy now. Oh yeah, she is claiming her man. Like, I don't even know if they were actually official, but Lily's like, that is my man. Like, you had your opportunity and be gone, Heather, because he is with moi. And you could tell Heather was like, she looked a little somber, but I dare say she kind of had that look like it was like an undercurrent, like I can get him back kind of thing. It was teetering on that. So we're gonna see where that goes. But Lily, she was staking her claim. So that was that. Okay, so let's see who we could talk about. Because once again, it was all over the board because a majority of the week had to do with this SNA media company where Victor was like taking control, and he basically was like, if you don't announce that there's going to be a merger between SNA Media and what is it, Newman Media or whatever they're called, um, I'm going to do it. So yeah, it's been one of those back and forth, and 1 minute they're talking to Victor and then they're talking amongst themselves, and it was like a mishmash. And then Slimy Nate was in there, and he's there trying to get back with Victoria. And Victoria, she looked frazzled, like she looked wet, like she doesn't know what to believe anymore. But yet she likes her some Nate, I guess. I guess he holding it down in the bedroom for her, but at the same time she's thinking about, Ashlyn and what she went through with him. Man, if that wasn't a colossal mistake, she has the worst luck when it comes to men. And that's on her because quite frankly, she's just like a sitting duck, just waiting to be plucked. But that's just her nature. It's annoying, but it's her nature. Whatever. So, Nate's trying to get back in her good graces. He kind of gets back in her good graces. He gives her a rose, and, you know, at some point, he's like, invites her to dinner because she's like, I'm going to go home. He's like, I get it. We're not at that level yet where I can come to your home. No, you're just like the boy toy at this point, Slimy Nate. Yeah, you were not going to be meeting the kids, which, first of all, I thought the kids went to boarding school, but it seems like they're at home. I don't know. Cuz why wouldn't he be allowed to come to the house there, Victoria? I'm confused. But whatever. Uh, yeah, they bore me. Oh god, like Slimy Nate, you have been trying to get back in her good graces. You're trying to sit back and be, the big boss man at Newman. You're trying to impress Victor. And to be honest with you, I feel like the only person who has, their eyes wide open is Nikki. Nikki, she's like, Victor, how come you can't see this about Nate? Victor, how come you can't see this about Audra? Victor, didn't I say this before? Oh yes, baby. Yes, you told me, but it take me a little bit of time to She's like, oh my god, like I've said this like a gajillion times, uh, and you're still not getting it. So it's been a lot of back and forth. At this point, like we can just go right to like the end concerning SNA Media. We leave it where Sharon talks to Nick and basically says, why don't we pull Kirsten, whatever, out of the whole merger and basically just you and me, like we run it. And he's like, well, it's almost, the mergers are almost gone through and it'll be a whole legal battle. Like, could we get out of it? Yeah, maybe. She's like, I've already got a team of lawyers. Whoa, when did that happen? Okay, yeah, I've got a team of lawyers looking over the paperwork as we speak, and because Sharon, she is trying to be that mogul. She's trying to be all up in that, like to create her own kingdom. And do I blame her? No, not really. I mean, at this point, she asked Esther if she would basically take over the managerial role at Crimson Lights because she doesn't really have the time. She's not going to really have the time to run it when she's trying to create her own kingdom. That's basically what it comes down to. And Esther is like, wee, yay. So Esther is now the manager of Crimson Lights. Nikki told her, yeah, you may not be in this position too long, so I wouldn't really, get some business cards or made up or anything like that because it's not looking too promising for Sharon. What? What? I was gonna do all these changes. I was gonna do all the. And Nikki's little one-liner, Esther, you've been manager for all of 5 minutes. I think you'll get over it. Oh, Nikki. And can we just talk about Nikki? She has been, she has been looking good. Like, what? She had on this fuchsia pink outfit, and she had on this black dress. Like, her hair has been on point. She's been. Victoria, take a look at your mother. Take a look at your mother. Why aren't you looking like this? I'm confused. She has been on point. And Nicholas, and on his chest, Nicholas, they gave him a haircut at the end of the week. I dare say maybe they probably cut out a little bit too much off and probably slicked him up too much with some gel. However, his shirt was some type of ways. He was looking buff. Just my opinion. And that hairstyle kind of, for whatever reason, he looked almost Clark Kent like. He, I was just waiting for Superman to just come off. So he looked good. Um, yes, so we saw, that was pretty much, yeah, I'd say that was pretty much the fashion. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so we saw Sally Spectra. She has been back and forth again this whole week. Roller coaster. She has been back and forth. 1 minute to Adam, back to Nick. There's been like secrecy and just all over the map. Anyway, um, she ends up asking Nicholas if his offer to basically fund a business for her, a business venture for her, if it still stood. Okay, Sally, I kind of like you. However, you're kind of getting a little bit under my skin. I'll tell you why. Because you're very sometime-ish. 1 minute you're saying I don't like, how many times did Nick offer? And now because you are literally on broken pieces because Victor pulled the rug from underneath you, um, with that whole design firm nonsense, and where he reneged, and then you basically let Chloe kind of go off on her own, and like now you're at a loss. Adam asked you to join SNA Media when he should have consulted Nick and Sharon, but he didn't. Shocker. And yeah, it's just been like, why now, Sally? Why? He, he, now, if I was Nicholas, I wouldn't have said yes, which is what he did. I'd have been like, looky here. How many times did I offer you this? Yeah, offer's off the table. Because you kept saying that you don't want any help. You want to do whatever on your own, da 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 da. But now all of a sudden, yeah, I don't care if he's the boyfriend or whatever. Like, no. So he asked you to move in with him from before, and you just been, nah, well, no, I kind of like my hotel room. Okay, newsflash, you wouldn't have to be paying for a hotel room. It's not like you're getting it comped. Oh, Sally. And then you're sitting back and you're talking with Adam back and forth, having like big conversations. You you don't want to be around him per se, but you basically have him almost on speed dial. Once again, I'm confused. You see why it's been kind of a sleepy week? It's just been, oh gosh, this was like, I don't know. It was just like a sloth at times, just moving so slowly and just kind of like wondering to yourself, did we just go over this like already? Are we back to this again? Anyway, so let's see where we're at. I guess the last thing, because again, there was too many too many instances concerning this whole SNA media. But the last thing was the fact that baby Aria, that would be Mariah and Tessa's daughter, they feel they out of nowhere this storyline came up like, whoa, that baby Aria has a hearing issue. So they spoke with a pediatrician, and yeah, she has some hearing issue, and they don't know to the extent of what it is. They're like a basket case, and poor baby Aria, once again, she does have this hearing issue, but whatever it may be, but they don't know the extent of how bad it is or exactly what it is. They just know that there's an issue. So we're going to see where that, plays out, because they have now, I guess Tessa had called Devon, since we all know he went through the whole cochlear, am I saying it correctly? Um, was it an implant or whatever he used to wear over his ear, to be able to hear. So I guess he's going to soothe their doubts. They even had Elena come in at one point at the park, and they were talking to Elena. Now, here's the thing with Elena. Now they're concerned with her with some sort of work burnout. So I kind of feel like there might be a storyline concerning that coming up. And I have a slight prediction. This is concerning Slimy Nate and Audra. Slight prediction. We're going to see how this plays out. My prediction is that the two of them are going to hit the skins. Yep, I said it. Why? Because, first of all, apparently, if you recall, she claims that she had the hots for Nate from time. But there was this scene near pretty much I think it was the last episode of the week. Not sure. However, Slimy Nate and Audra were at the club. I believe were they at the bar? I think they were at the bar. Anyway, they were talking because Audra had just come from Victor's place, trying to make sure that her job was secure. And they had a bit of like a glossy eye look between the two of them. Like yeah, that kind of look. And who walks in? Doo, 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 doo. Elena. And she sees this, kind of glossy look between the two of them. And yeah, that's my prediction. I feel as though Nate, once again, Mr. Slippery and Slimy, he's going to end up in Audra's bed. Well, where is that going to leave it for Kyle? Who, by the way, I almost forgot. Summer has said, we basically need to stop the madness and we need to go our separate ways and have a divorce and go through divorce. And to which he was like, like, oh my gosh. And she's like, well, like, why? What's up? Well, like, I kind of figured that we need to do this, but I didn't think that you'd be the one to say it first. Okay, Kyle, who cares who said it first? What are you, crazy? The fact remains is she said it. And if you just can't get past what she did, then she's trying to end it. Move on. Dude, you've already went and slept with Audra countless times. Like, I don't even remember you being with Summer that many times. And she's your wife. Just one set of weirdness. But anyway, so yeah, Summer has now taken off her ring and whatnot. She's crying. And do I think they will rekindle? Kind of hard to say. My spidey senses are not up where this is concerned as yet. Will it? Maybe. But I give it another, couple weeks. We'll see where this goes. But I do believe that Slimy Nate and Audra are going to hit the skins. Just again, my prediction. So, there you have it, folks. That was pretty much the week. Again, half sleepy, half But yeah, that's why I didn't fully put it on, because it was maybe half sleepy. We're going to see what happens this week. Hopefully they'll pick things up like quite quickly and, get it together, because I can't take much more of this SNA Media, merger, ugh. It took up too much time this whole week. They could have filled it with some other stuff. But anyway, if you stay till the end, I'm so grateful that you have. And once again, if you like this type of content, you like what you see, you like what you hear, it would be so good of you to hit that like and subscribe button and hit that bell notification so that you don't miss a single video that I post here on Y&R For Life. And I forgot to give my disclaimer. If you didn't want to know what was going on, and you had wanted to kind of get caught up on your own, sorry, this wasn't the the episode to watch. But I'm so grateful that you are here. I'm so grateful that you took the time out to just kind of, get back in the saddle with me because, again, things have happened and that are beyond our control. I like to keep it real. That's who I am. And I just love being able to talk about the show, my favorite show of all time. So let's see what next week holds. And hopefully, we're going to get some drama because that's what we like. We like all those soapy details, don't we? I know I do. So, you guys take care. It's been a blast. I love you a lot. Take care. Bye.